Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to the Strategy Game Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Shippey. Today I'm here with Matt Shanlian, and I'm so excited to have him. Matt, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
This is not your first rodeo. I know you've been on a lot of podcasts. I know that you do a lot of speaking all over the country. Will you tell us where you are from and how you got to be doing what you're doing today, and share with us what you do?
Yeah. Well, that's a big question. And I want to apologize first. This is being video recorded.
A lot
And
there.
everybody jokes that nothing behind me. It seems like I'm like a hostage or in some type of prison cell because it's just a blue wall. So really, what I do for a living right now is, and what I've been doing since I graduated college, is really just take over my father's business.
Mhm.
He started a mortgage company in the late 90s, and it's got a pretty unique, um, just kind of ethos, how we gain business. And it's been unique from the beginning. And when I graduated college with my finance degree, I really actually didn't want to do this for a living, but I graduated in 2008, and that was not a great time to have a finance degree in the middle of
No,
the
it's not.
recession. So what I did have was I could have bartended or moved home in my parents' basement and
Yep.
been basically the lowest man on the totem pole in the company. And so I moved home, and my dad basically, he paid me $500 a week. Said, like, I'm not going to give you the company. I'm not going to give you a lot of responsibilities. I'll let you have it when you're ready. And from literally the copy boy, back when there was fax machines that people used
Yes.
years ago,
Yes.
faxes, lunch guy, answer the phone, to overtime. As a credit to my father, it's tough to kind of relinquish systematically power from being the guy that runs everything to bringing me in on some items and then making me more like a 30-70 and then 50-50. And
Yeah.
now at the pace where he's our president, with we're co-presidents, I guess you'd call it. But he's semi-retired and allowing me to kind of steer the ship that he has built over the last 2 decades. So that's kind of how I came to be in the position that I am. And I feel really lucky that, number one, it's a family owned and run business. So there's a lot of great things in that. There's also some struggles, like sometimes you fight at work and then you have to go home and have dinner with them.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Right.
I think more on our spouses to hear us kind of always talking the business. But it's really great because the wins, I think, are deeper. When we grow, when we get to hire people, we tend to hire people who are friends or family or people from our church, and people that we can, kind of maybe help into a different career. And they're being able to do that, not just as a career, but doing it alongside my father and also my sister, who's our operations manager.
Awesome.
Uh, it's really it's really awesome. And so I hold that dear to my heart, to be able to not only work in a family business, but we still go on vacation together.
Mhm.
My sister's kids, our kids, we're just an extremely close family, and we also have a business. And so
Yeah.
um, I feel very lucky that I kind of woke up on second base, um, and had a couple of things that I had to work hard and all that stuff. And, I do believe that, but
Yeah.
I did have a good kind of opportunity out the gates that a lot of people didn't get.
Absolutely. What did you think you were going to do when you graduated, or
Oh,
prior to 2008, because we know everything changed in 2008. So prior to that, you know.
you know, I I had, with my father having a company in the mortgage industry, and before that, even when in financial planning, I was always around it because he was around it, and I was just always interested in stuff. Math and numbers were an interest of mine. My father is actually just a really great salesman.
Hmm.
Um, so we're different in that way, where he would have been successful whether he was doing mortgages or vacuums or whatever.
Right.
He's just a great salesman, and so I always feel like I didn't inherit the sales gene, where my dad is just like, you meet him, you've met him.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just a happy guy, and everybody's like, oh, that's Dave.
genuine, not like salesy, not
Yeah, I give
genuine.
business to Dave because he's great.
Yeah.
I like him, and for me, I'm a little bit more analytical and um, out. My dad calls it an overthinker, and so I thought, well, maybe I'm not built for like sales. Maybe on financial planning, maybe I would work more on the security side, where there's a lot of research and data,
Yes, the
kind
back
of
end.
like that
Yeah.
stuff. And then the last thing was I thought, honestly, I really love sports.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I thought, well, that would be great. Like my dream of dreams would be to like be like a salary cap analyst or like a GM or president of a professional sports team. Now I know that there's like 100 people that get to do that out of 300 million. So like my odds of, and my uncle doesn't own a team, so my odds of actually getting that job were slim. There was a period of time where I thought, maybe I'll go like try to work for the Knicks
Yeah.
in their ticket office and see if I can run my way up
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, I guess in the end I was a little bit chicken, and the idea of, hey, I've graduated and I was at the time single. So it was like, I could go anywhere, but also I
Yeah.
don't want to be all on my own. So
Yeah.
I fell back into this opportunity, I will say. And it was the best decision I've ever made. I can truly say.
That's pretty wild. And it's interesting to hear you say that that you are more analytical and your dad was more a natural born salesperson, because from just knowing you the time I've known you, I would never have guessed that, because I think you've managed to forge a lot of relationships in your space with the people that you interact with, just in a genuine way that has led to really strong business for you. And so, I would love to just hear about just what has the journey been like in you establishing those key relationships. I know in large part with, financial advisors, with realtors, right? Those are some really key networks for you, spaces that you operate in, but really in a genuine way and not in like a cold called cheesy sales-ish way, right? I think there's like a lot of nuance here to clarify for business owners and for entrepreneurs in terms of like what they should look for when they are just really building relationships.
What I will say is, for me personally, the way that I am um, built, I guess would be the best way to say it. I needed a coach. I needed help. My father is and still is. He's like, we'll figure it out as we go. Like
Yeah,
let's start.
I love
Let's
that. Yeah.
let's buy the wood and start building, and it'll be a barn. I don't know what it looks like, but it'll look like one when we finish. And I'm the complete opposite. And so when I got
Okay.
into the position that I'm in, and trying to grow the company or stabilize the company, my father was just very like, he's just a great salesman. So he
Yeah.
would do it kind of by grit and guile, and I wanted more of a plan. And so I sought out a business coach mentor, and um, I've been with her for Lauren, for another Lauren,
Mhm.
for about I think 7 years now. And really, as I was able to get more and more influence in the company, but really, she allowed me to just kind of, hey, I want this to happen, and she helped me just chart out. And that's something I'm not great at is,
Okay.
if I want to get here, if I want to get on this side of the island and I'm on this side of the island, how do I get there? And a lot of it was just very simple stuff like, I would see my dad in meetings, and he would be, we speak nationwide and financial planning seminars and symposiums, all that stuff. And I would see him be in these meetings, and people would, oh, Dave, you're great. Can I have your business card? And, we would kind of just wait for people to call us, in essence. My dad wasn't really big on the ask or have a system there. He would just be like, hey, if they want to use us, they'll use us.
Yep.
And me knowing myself, like, at least maybe being hard on myself, not being the charismatic speaker as my father, is like, I don't think I'm going to drum business up by just being mad.
Yeah.
And we grow as a company. We can't be Dave's mortgage company. We have to be PRMI, and
Sure.
not be built on a personality, but be built on some systems, but maintain our culture. So
Yes.
really for us, for me specifically, it was getting out of my own way and on my own head and just doing the work. That it was very simple. It wasn't like Lauren
Mm.
unlocked some like magic key. She basically was just like, when you go to meetings and somebody asks for your business card, ask for theirs back. And
Yeah.
then when you come home, call them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just call them and be personal. Like, for me, our business is highly relational. So we get our mortgages, our leads, we'll call them, from financial advisors. And so have to be like a resource for them,
Yeah.
not education, but also being able to complete loans for their clients efficiently.
Yeah.
But when you work with somebody like that, you can choose to be transactional or relational. Transactional is, hey, if you got a client, let me do it as soon as, just talk to me when you need something and I'll run with it. Relational is learning about their business, understanding their model, because a financial planner, that umbrella is quite large.
Mhm.
There's insurance only, there's financial services, there's people with lots of licenses, people that work only with elder people or younger people. And so if I just was like, hey, I'm a good mortgage guy, call me when you need a mortgage, that's not going to hit a lot of people. But
Right.
if I can take the next step to say, how does your business run? Who are you looking for? And then I can attach a need to what I think that they're missing. Um, I become valuable to them. And so they
Value
have a
add. Yeah.
mortgage. And so it's really about understanding what we're doing, but like taking our steps with our referral partners to be relational. Like
Mhm.
I've gone on vacations with financial advisors. I go to baseball games with financial advisors. I have been to
Yeah.
weddings, and there's all of these things that is really just about living. I've heard a great phrase. You grew up with like work life balance,
Mhm.
and I think really it's truly work life integration. It's working with the people you like,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and integrating your lives with them, going on vacations if you can with them,
Yeah.
having them know you and your wife and your kids or
Yeah.
whoever you have.
Yeah.
Then when something bad happens, I make a mistake, borrower makes a mistake, something blows up unforeseen. We have all this back relationship that we can call upon to work together. But if it's transactional, it becomes like, I don't know if you've seen that meme with Spider-Man. There's like four Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Like that's what conflict resolution usually is like who has the potato last is the one that gets all the blame.
Yeah.
So all of that advanced work you're doing, building a relationship, not only gets them excited to use you, but also when there's things that go wrong, you have like a team aspect to really
Yeah.
um, push it
That's
along.
good. They know that you genuinely care. And I think the thing that stands out about you all is the just I think people really are can sense the character and nature, right, of people. And I think they'll pick up on that pretty quickly. And so just that long standing um proof of your character and nature in the industry as an office, as a team, I think speaks volumes. And so you really seek to see the people you work with, understand them, really know them, right? And you're adding those personal elements of just everyday relationships and doing life with them.
Yeah.
And that then just translates to business and opportunities. So I think it's really just starting from that place of relationship and really knowing people and having that community. And that's what I've watched you guys build really, or have seen you observe that you've built. So I think that's really cool. And I think it's inspirational to entrepreneurs and business owners who feel like there's a lot of opportunity within a particular industry yet to be developed. So do you have like any feedback or advice if they're saying, hey, I have to get more involved in industry events, or how do I break into that opportunity? Does
Yeah.
anything come to mind there?
Yeah. I mean, for my industry specifically, and who I'm looking for. So in mortgage banking and lending, most people are just working in their general local vicinity within about 30 square miles of where their office is, helping families buy and maybe refinance her once in a while.
Yeah.
Their business, we are national. So I work for advisors. I live in Ohio. I have advisor partners in Hawaii, Boston,
Awesome.
all over. Um, we were really lucky in doing that. But, when I started at the business, a lot of it was from my father's friends and they're kind of co-advisors. And so part of the stuff I worked on with Lauren, my sales coach, and I think that's the biggest thing is as an entrepreneur, just to digress a bit, as an entrepreneur, business owner, the biggest struggle I think is we just don't have anybody to talk to.
True.
And we don't want to because then we think like, well, we're a business owner. We should figure it out or
Know it.
on us. And I don't have really community. All I have is competitors.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing that's a big misnomer, but also going out and finding a coach, somebody to download this, like, that's what Lauren's been really great with me is he'll say, we'll write down our referral partner groups. Like, so we'll have like an association with hundreds of advisors or maybe thousands of advisors, and we'll chart them, and then I'll chart the business, and I'll say, well, this company's not doing well now that I'm charting it. My relationship is lagging. How do I? And then we'll be creative. Do they have a meeting coming up? Can I talk to one of their account reps? Can I get a webinar going or a Zoom call?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that I'll do, but really like figuring out what you really want to do. Like we talk about the story work stuff, like who are the personas you're going after?
Yeah.
And really try to become an expert in who those people are and how they operate. I know that a financial advisor and a realtor have a lot of similar through lines, but they also have a lot that aren't, and I can't treat them the same, and I can't market to them the same.
Yeah.
And so really drilling down to who you are looking for, who you are trying to attack's a bad word, but the markets you're trying to attack.
Yeah.
And then putting a plan together. And the last step that everybody screws up is following through with the plan. I do that too.
That is the truth. How many
You
plans
put it all together, you spend
then
the
not
money,
completed?
you got the Excel spreadsheets, you got all this stuff going, and then it's like, just pick up the phone and do it, dummy. And then some days you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not good at this, or
That is
probably
so
gonna
true.
bother this person, and
Yeah.
I don't know. In the meeting, they gave me their card, but they kind of acted like they didn't want to give me their card. So, and
The truth, discouragement, right?
yeah,
And then, yeah.
so really, it's just finding somebody that can help you build a model. Or if you can build it yourself, that's great. I couldn't. And then build the model, be realistic on how you're doing with the model at all times, and then just doing it. Like
Yeah.
last 2 weeks, I've been in Detroit and Louisville and San Diego at meetings. I have a stack of business cards that I came home Sunday night. And this last couple of days, I've been calling everyone, emailing, putting them in my CRM, like all the stuff that I've been told to do.
You're doing it. Good.
It's not an immediate thing. It seems like a ton of busy work. Now, I have an assistant that puts the stuff in the system, but like the emails and phone calls. But that's the legwork that has proven time and time again. And sometimes we want to hope that people call us, and intentionality in that is so big.
So true. So true. That's really good. Okay, I want to shift gears a little bit here and talk about your culture, your team culture. I recently got to visit the office. It was really great to get to meet everybody in person. So tell me about the things that you guys are really focused on as you build your team culture.
So we have three, what do we call them? Immutable laws. There's a book I read through my it was called The Pumpkin Plan.
Okay.
And one of the great book. And it talks about specifically these immutable laws. And so I think a lot of people have like mission statements and all these things that over time, like if you're a company of 10 people and then all of a sudden you're 40 people, like your mission changes.
Yeah.
And so do you want to keep revising your mission statement? Then what is it? It's really just an annual paragraph.
Yeah.
So like immutable laws are things that I don't want to ever change in my company. It doesn't matter if we have like 26 or 27 employees right now. I think it's 27. If I have 100 employees, I don't want that to change. And so it's undeniable integrity, I should know these really well.
I'm putting you on the spot. Okay.
Yeah, it's the service. I can't think of the word.
There are three.
Undeniable integrity, unmatched service, and then unending joy.
I love that.
And so why I say the joy aspect is I happen to be, my faith is really important to me, and that's a biblical tenet of unending joy. And why I want to infuse that into my business is twofold. Number one, I think that tenet is so important to understand how lucky we are. I mean, we could be we all were born in at least on second base because we're alive still and we're eating probably too much sometimes. But like, there's a lot of people, and there's just so much that is wrong with this world, or people that just get born in a bad situation. So we have that. The next thing is what we do for a living. I feel wholeheartedly like I have a bachelor's degree. A lot of my employees don't have anything past high school degrees. I have a learned occupation, but my sales manager who has a high school degree and, went to the military, came back, and is my sales manager, makes as much or more than any surgeon that you know.
Wow.
Um, and so the idea that we have a job that allows us to make as much money as we can,
Yeah.
and we get to work with the people that we choose to work with and work as hard as we can. Like, we should be joyful about that. Like, you can work anywhere. If you don't like the mortgage industry, I tell my staff all the time,
Opportunity.
this
Yeah.
becomes old to you, or just you don't like it, just instead of being bitter, come and tell me, let's find you another job. Let me get the reference number out. Let's go find, like, if you want to work in the medical field or go back to school, like, just don't make this job be something that is, um, like, makes your day worse. And so, and I told him, like, but if I'm the one who sees that you don't have joy, that's a worse problem, because then I have to have a conversation about your job instead of you telling me I don't like what I'm doing. And so
Yeah.
the joy piece is important. We want problem solvers, not whiners.
Yeah.
We want people that, so it's very important for me to make sure, like, I feel like joy is such an all-encompassing term, because it's it's on us to have it. So joy doesn't say joy when we're making a lot of money, or
Yeah.
joy when we're doing great business and we get to leave early. It's joy when, like, this morning, I got an email as soon as I woke up that was not good news about a specific file. And it honestly put me in a bad mood immediately. And then, like, my wife, of course, was just like, "Oh, are you going to choose joy?" And I was like, "I hate you. I'm
No,
not.
no. And then you're like, I
First, I'll choose joy. Give me my little pity party." And
didn't.
so, but that's something we can always choose, even in good situation or bad situations. Like, we're in it together, but this is
True.
a joyful thing. And if you don't have joy here,
Mhm.
get another job, because you're gonna look weird, because we're all gonna have joy. So you're gonna be found out very quickly. So
Love that.
those three tenets are very important to me. I mean, I think everybody wants to strive to have integrity and great service, but the joy aspect is, like, we're not gonna fight each other. We're gonna fight together. And if you can't hold on to that, then we'll find you another place to work. No hard feelings.
Mm.
Like, find something that fulfills you. This fulfills me. I don't want to do anything else. I
Yeah.
want to work with people that don't get all their fulfillment from this job, but this
Yeah.
job fulfills their need for employment.
I love that. It keeps coming to mind the term work-life integration, as you said, because I think that's really, it's like what you're focused on creating, not only with the people that you serve, with your clients, but also with your team. So just because it's not necessarily always about just the service that you provide, it's about the people and then doing life with those people alongside of it. And it seems like that's what can really bring the joy, So that's just really awesome. Work-life integration and the pumpkin plan. I'm going to share that in the show notes because that's really good. And I think it's something that people can really attach to rather than a vision statement that's on a poster on the wall. We all know those old school vision statements that are like plastered up on the wall. They look like they're 1995.
Yeah, no, and that's 100%. And that book is really impactful to me. I love to read. And that's very, like, self-aggrandizing to say, but I do love to read specific things, and I have other people always pitching me books. But that book, the main thing, yeah, that's kind of a portion of it. The real main idea of the pumpkin plan, which I think is great, is, well, I live in a rural country or rural area where Gene lives, and your friend and partner, and we have these county fairs, and one of the things they do at county fairs is people grow vegetables and then they rate them. I think that's stupid, but that's a thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can grow a big cucumber, and it's like you got the blue ribbon cucumber.
Nice.
So whatever. But
Okay.
there's pumpkins. You can grow these pumpkins that literally are the size of like a car.
Oh my God.
And they're thousands of pounds. And it's a big thing. And the idea of the pumpkin plant is, like, the way you grow that is because a pumpkin grows on a vine, and generally the biggest pumpkin's at the end of the vine. And I'm not a scientist, but I'm living this illustration that he gave in the book.
You're close.
But the idea is that vine will have offshoots of other smaller pumpkins from the ones that are this big to the ones that are jack-o'-lanterns to the big one at the end.
Mhm.
And his thing is like a ruthless exploration, because every time that there is an offshoot of a pumpkin, that's nutrients that's going away from the big pumpkin. And so his is like a ruthless exploration of all of the business avenues that you get revenue from,
Yeah.
and what is stealing away from your main pumpkin. Like, what, maybe it's not one, but maybe it's two or three, but you have all these little other outshoots you're doing that is stealing your attention, your resources, your time, your staff away from your main revenue sources. And so the pumpkin plan is just looking at what you do, really downloading it. And it actually has a lot of great
That's
stuff
good.
online, and you write all the stuff down, and you can see like, wow, I am spending this much money for this much business here, and I'm spending no money in getting all this business here.
Yes.
What if I move my resources to the real, like, maybe I like this, that's why I'm spending money, and I'm okay with this. It's just a really great way to, ruthlessly look at who you're doing business with, and who is draining you and who is filling you, and then
Yeah.
cutting off those smaller pumpkins,
That's
and
good.
the nutrients go to the big ones. So that's
Yeah.
what I look.
Well, that's really good. We talk a lot about habits and how we spend our time and prioritization. And I think that goes right along with that. So if we're not constantly reevaluating that in our businesses, we can get off track. So it's important to have teams that do that too. So that's awesome that you've built it into your team culture and that you've done the work yourself. So that's really cool. I'm going to check it out. I actually haven't read that book. So another one to read / listen to.
Yeah, it's a great audiobook. The guy's hilarious. He's from like New Jersey.
Oh,
So he's very
perfect.
sarcastic. So that's how I took it. And then there's workbooks and stuff that he has on his website. But it's a real fun read.
Yeah, we'll link it in the show notes. That's great. Okay, so as we wrap up here, Matt, any tangible takeaways that you would offer, a piece of advice, kind of your golden rule for business owners out there that are just continuing on the journey to grow?
Yeah. I think I love like nuggets, we'll call them.
Mhm.
So like from different books or different speakers, and I'm a big, like, I love to like write stuff down so I can go back to a journal. And a couple of things this year that's really helped me is like, number one, there's a phrase that like, oh, what was it? It was like, oh, now it escapes me when I want to quote it. The other one I was thinking of is duty is beautiful. And
Like,
what I mean by that is sometimes as entrepreneurs, we live for the ride, the new thing, the call, the conference call, the flight to this person for the deal. And we get frustrated with the duty of being a business owner, which is
yeah,
managing staff and things of that nature and charting out. And we want to live on the excitement of the 4 or 5 big things we do a year, and not the Monday through Friday and, culture aspects, but checking in on your employees and how they're feeling and who they are and who they want to be. And this idea that duty is beautiful, that's our duty as owners. It's not just to make as much money as we can for ourselves, which is important,
yeah,
but the staff that we have, making sure that they're happy, because turnover is killer in a business. So if you're running your people ragged and you're constantly hiring, rehiring, training, they leave, boy, that burns a lot of fuel. And so the duty that is beautiful in that, the thing that duty is beautiful is that the day to day, the Monday through Friday stuff, like really tuck into that in seasons. There's seasons where you're running around. Like I said, last 2 weeks, I haven't even slept in my bed but one night.
yeah.
When you're here, like really be here and not just be daydreaming about other things, because there's just incremental improvements you can do. And then, contentment doesn't mean complacency. That was what it was.
Mhm.
I think we always want to keep growing. That old, always be closing, or
Yes.
standing always and in all ways, that people have all those key phrases. There are seasons for great expansion. There's seasons for reflection. I think I struggle with that complacency feeling, like,
Mm.
when you're building a business, or, you go through seasons of struggle, you're like, oh my goodness, everything's on fire. You're running from here to here, you're solving problems. And then when those subside and maybe you're heading in the right direction, you're still kind of like, PTSD is probably dramatic, but you still kind of have that feeling, oh, what else is going to go wrong?
Yeah.
We had 2 good weeks. So there's obviously a bad week happened and let me get myself ready. And so I would say, like, if I would just be like, wow, like the idea of sitting back and be like, whoa, you know what? We've had a really good 18 months, which we have in our company.
Yeah.
We've grown. I love the people we've hired. We've added offices. Like financially, we're stable. The idea of sitting back and going, gosh, that's really great. I can be happy about that. Part of me, my immediate reaction a lot of times, I think a lot of entrepreneurs are, is like, well, I'm not allowed to do that because either I'm jinxing myself
I know.
or that time could be spent building more.
Yeah.
So there's seasons that I think we need to make sure we have in our lives where it's like, yeah, you know what? I tell my wife, I call it sprinting. I was like, sometimes I got to go on a sprint and I
Yeah.
got to run around a little bit. There's things that stack up. That's fine. But I made a big decision this year that I'm not traveling in the summer. My kids are in school. So when they're not in school, I'm not traveling.
Yeah.
And that season was really content because I was hanging around. We went on vacations together and played in the backyard and all this kind of stuff. And the dad stuff that I don't get to do as an entrepreneur, I can do that in those periods. That was a season of contentment. And then when school hit 3, 4 weeks ago,
Yeah.
back in that other season of like, let's build, let's grow, let's do things, but be okay. And that's my personal struggle, is being okay with like foot off the gas for a little bit
Yes.
and taking stock and then refueling. And then because I've done it before where I just kept my foot on the gas for a year, about 3 years ago. And I got to Thanksgiving. My wife's like, you are like almost worthless to the rest of us. Like you're completely empty when you get home.
Yep.
I don't know what you're doing. Like this has got to change. And so, yeah, it just,
Good.
those two phrases, man. I said, man, I'm sorry, but duty is beautiful.
Duty.
And yeah, the contentment isn't complacent.
Doesn't mean complacency. Yep. Really, really good. Matt, thank you so much. So much wisdom in this episode. I can't wait to share it. I'm thankful that we get to work with you at the Marketing Engine. I love just being a part of your team. So thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. And anytime you need me, you got me.
Yeah, love it. Thank you.